I am pretty sure someone has done an Angels and Demons review before, right? But then I couldn't find it, and then I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to re-say anything that had already been said, because then I'm just being all redundant, but then I couldn't find it, so then I don't know. But Angels and Demons is what I read, so Angels and Demons is what I'm gonna review. Angels and Demons by Dan Brown is a prequel of sorts to the Da Vinci Code. The two don't have anything like to tie them together plot-wise necessarily, except for the fact that they both include Robert Langdon, the Harvard professor of religious symbology, which isn't even a real title thing. The thing about reviewing a book like this is that religion inevitably comes up, because that's partially what a point is being made about. And I tend to agree with the point, or at least the point as I see it, that Dan Brown is not making an anti-spiritual kind of statement. He's not like going against your God, because some people get really, really upset over these books. Dan Brown's making more of a statement about the church, and even then people seem to like redeem themselves in the end of the book. It's like, not everybody in the church is corrupt, of course not, just some people take things too far. And you can't deny that some people, are crazy. Some people think that God is talking to them and that they should go kill people because of what God is telling them. I don't really necessarily think you can argue with the fact that that happens to people. And it doesn't happen to people who are just religious. It happens to everybody. But religion has fueled a bunch of hatred and war and that kind of thing. And that you can, I don't know, I guess what I generally end up taking from these books is that you can totally be spiritual without being religious, which I already knew, but like, you don't have to be crazy, and you don't have to dislike the other side. People tend to dislike the other side, whether if you're really religious, or at least in America, there's some people who, are like somehow against the science, and then I know there are people who are like totally for the science, and then get so angry at anyone who is religious. I know people like that personally, and it's not. These books should be reminders to us not to be that way, to understand that it's. I think what was constantly being said in the book was that it's, two paths to the same truth kind of thing. I think humanity in general, for as long as we've been around, have always had a lot of questions, and generally, I think people like to feel taken care of, and so everybody generally needs something to believe in. So whether that's a god, or whether that's science, or whether that's yourself, the Buddhists believe there is a God in all of us. We are all God. No matter what you believe in, you shouldn't get obsessed with it, and you shouldn't hate other people for their beliefs if they're different than yours, So I guess I just find it funny when people get really upset at these Dan Brown books because, like, they paint the Catholic Church in a bad light or something. But even then, there's, like, good individuals and stuff. There's no really painting, in my opinion, of anything in a bad light, except the people who take things too far. Those are the people that are painted in a bad light, and those are the people we should try not to emulate, whatever. I mean, that's I don't know. To me, that's kind of like the big thing about these books, and then some people get lost in the details and they feel threatened and they feel very upset and just like should probably try to remember the bigger picture here. I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I really like these books. Don't get crazy, don't hate on people just because they believe something different than you. Good enough? Yeah. In other news, sorry I didn't post last Thursday. I think some of you, mainly Greg, saw my complaint on Facebook that my laptop shut down on me. And I was so sad, and I was like, holy crap, how am I going to do NaNoWriMo with a shut down computer? But everything's cool. It turned back on. It still does, there's like some important update it's supposed to install that it won't. I don't know why, but for now, the computer is working and I am happy, and I can do NaNoWriMo on this thing next month, which I am so excited about. If any of you watching are doing NaNoWriMo, then I would like to know. You should tell me in the comments. You should leave me a link to your author page or whatever. That way, we can, and I'll link mine in the sidebar, and we can, be like writing buddies and see the progress of everybody's like novels and stuff. I'm super excited. I've done Nano like 3 other times, 2004, 2006, and 2008, and I would generally start a few days in because I would forget, without a plot, and with the with the perception that like I had to write everything I had to write down had to be totally perfect, like publishable material, which is stupid. But like I was like, everything I write down is crap, and I never have finished a Nano. But I'm super excited because I have multiple people now that I have recruited to Nano with me so that we can, keep each other going, have nights at like Village Inn where we're typing on our computers and drinking coffee and stuff. And so I am super excited for, oh yeah. The geek in me loves it. And yeah,